Hey everybody, this is Neil. I want to welcome you back to another episode of Local Highlights TV. I'm very excited today. I have a special guest with me from the landscape business. Brad Simpson is the owner of Redwood Yardscapes in Woodstock, Georgia, and I'm very excited to have him here. He gives us kind of an inside look. I know there's been a lot of people out there who have done a lot of yard work around their homes. We all like to spruce up our homes and look good and neat. And many of us have landscapers that we have work with us, and some of us are do it ourselves, and some of them we do both. I have a landscaper that helps out with certain things, and I do certain things myself. Throughout all of that, one of the constants is that you need the proper materials. You need the dirt or the rock or the mulch or whatever that may be for your yard. So in today, I've asked Brad to come on and share some information on what should we be looking for as we're out there shopping for landscape materials, landscaping supplies, that kind of stuff. Brad's an expert in that. So I want to thank Brad. Thank you, Brad, first of all, for being here with us today. And I want to start us off by asking you kind of the question that is on everybody's mind, at least with this topic, is what should I be looking for in a good landscape supplier, a landscape supply company? What are some of the things as an individual, a homeowner, that I should be paying attention to here?
Well, what I would say is thank you for having me, Neil. Thanks for the opportunity. What I would say is the variety of product that a landscape yard has on display, or you can buy there, is something that I would be looking at, because certain things that you might want for your yard that you have in your mind, you might get to the landscape supply yard and there's maybe 3 or 4 options there, because you're seeing the variety of different materials. So I'd say variety is probably the top one.
Okay, that's great. Now talk to me a little bit. Let's dig deeper into that. When you say a variety of materials, kind of give me just a quick rundown of what kinds of materials are we talking about, and what are some of the choices that are available to me there?
Well, we have all kinds of dyed mulch in different colors, brown, red, black. And you also have textures, different textures. You have a double grind, which is more of a coarse material, and then you have a triple grind, which is a finer material, and it has nothing but preference. It's just what you like in your yard. Other things like if you have a playground you're putting in, we have state certified play safe, which we can provide a certificate. We've got cypress mulch, pine bark mini nuggets, pine bark big nuggets. We've got all kinds of aggregates from 57 stone, which is good for like drains, to driveway compactable fill, which is crush and run, and we have pea gravel, egg rock, which are more decorative, and then we have the big Flintstone rocks that look like dinosaur eggs, and that's good for creek beds. And also we have a variety of soils. We have OPS, which is organic potting soil. We have blackened topsoil, and then we can make mixes. We can introduce river sand in with OPS or blackened top to make a top dressing for your yard. We can also make a flour mix, put earth food in with the soil, and the we can get some granite dust and introduce it to the which helps the soil drain in your flower garden. We have sand, masonry sand, and then straight river sand if that's what you want. So we've got a pretty good variety of stuff, and then on top of that we have palletized rocks, your flagstone. We have your garden boulders, which we call 2-man boulders because they're just heavy enough for 2 people to carry. And then we also have big boulders from 2,000 pounds down to 400 pounds, which look real nice and and yardscapes, whatever you're doing there. So I mean, there's a lot to choose from when you go to a landscape supply yard.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot. You just you ran through there, and I've used a number of those products myself over the years. So let's say me as a homeowner, is this something that was a lot to choose from? Um, is there a way for me to know or see or touch or feel what the difference is in these products? I mean, it's a little confusing to me. Is there a way for me to come and check that out?
Yeah, you can come by the Redwood Yardscapes, and we've got a big open yard where you can walk over to the different bins that we stock the products in, and if you are interested in a certain product, then I can walk you to a couple of different, maybe closer but different items that might, look a little bit better, or you might have your heart set on what you really came for. So it's good to have a variety right there to where we can walk around and I can show you different things that you might not have seen.
Yeah, that's great. I think that probably would be a good idea for most of us to choose from all those. Let's back up just a little bit and go back to the question about kind of what would you recommend people look for, because I want to dig deeper into that a little bit. So are there any, I mean, is this just all a commodity? Everybody has got the exact same stuff. I don't need to think about who, I just go with whoever I can find, or what are some of the differences or some of the factors I might need to pay attention to when I'm selecting which yard I want to go to and view their products? What are some of the differences there? What things?
Well, the big one is making sure that the mulch that you're buying is cured. And what I mean cured is you're taking grinded up wood product, which they call mulch, and then they send that through a dye machine. And depending on how fast that product is moving through the industry, it has to cure. You have to let that dye adhere itself to the wood itself, or if you get it too quick and it's wet, and let's say it came out of the factory and it's in your front yard within 4 hours, or let's say even 7 hours, and you have a spring thunderstorm that just pops up for 15 minutes, you're going to have problems with your color. The color will just run right off that wood. So it's very important to make sure that wood, that mulch that you're getting is cured and dried to a point. I mean, it's always going to come off on your hands when you're working with it, but when I'm talking about it's soaking wet, and you'll be able to see that, and that's pretty important there. Another thing that I would look at would be making sure that what you're getting, what you're paying for, you're getting that amount. I've seen in the industry where the measuring tools that they're using is not right. A yard of mulch from somebody just walking off the street, people have in their mind all kinds of assortments of levels. But a yard of mulch is a good bit of mulch to put in. I guess measuring from a normal person. If you went to Home Depot and bought bags of mulch, it would take pretty much 17 bags to equal a bucket of mulch, 1 yard. So that's kind of what you're dealing with when you order a yard. So that's one thing that you need to really watch is make sure that they have the right measuring tool that they're using, because you definitely want to get what you're paying for.
Yeah, those are both very interesting things that I hadn't really even ever considered, being how, I guess, fresh or cured it is, and then the quantity of it. So, I mean, is there any way for me as a homeowner to know when I'm dealing with a landscape supplier if I'm getting either not cured mulch? And you may have touched on this, but I want to make sure I get that clear. Is there a way for me to know, as an average lay person, I'm a homeowner and I just need to get some mulch, I'm going to go to your yard, I'm going to check it out. Is there any way for me to know, is it cured, and am I getting the quantity that I think I'm ordering here?
Well, Neil, what we do at Redwood Yardscapes, we take the top seller, which is a brown. It's a walnut brown, which is a hot commodity in mulch. And what we do is we have a bin that we put our fresh mulch that comes in off the truck. We throw it in a bin, and then we have a secondary bin that we pull from for the customer. That way, we're always eating from the mulch that we have had the longest. Now, you know, if and it's all on volume. I mean, we do the best that we can with what we have, and we're trying at Redwood to stop that problem as best as we can. But that's what we've come up with. So we try to help the customer as much as we can on getting cured mulch, and we can only do that on one colored mulch because it does take up real estate, and we have a lot of products there. So we don't really have the problem as much on the other colors as we do on the brown because we sell it so fast. So that's why we've done that.
So brown is the most popular color, I'm guessing, well, you just said, in no uncertain terms. But that's really neat. You have a way to swap out kind of the new stays here and the older, more cured is what you're selling out, and you just kind of rotate it through there. That's actually a great feature of yours. I really appreciate that. Is there any way for me to know if I'm getting my full yard of mulch there at your place?
We at Redwood, we've designed a bucket for our tractor that's 1 cubic yard, and we have we've had a welder come and make this bucket and measured it out, so it's a cubic yard. And at Redwood, if you have the measurements of your project, you're say you're laying mulch or you're laying rock, you can call me with those measurements, and I can give you precisely the amount of mulch that you need. And at Redwood, you can be assured that you're going to get exactly what you pay for.
That's great. I appreciate that. I'm sure your customers appreciate that too. All right, so we're going to wrap up here, and I guess you know, you had mentioned actually one other thing when we were talking earlier, and I want to highlight that again. You guys were talking about doing something a little different there than some of your other competitors too, with how it's delivered to the customers' homes. And while we go into that, I want to clarify. Your customers are landscapers, your customers are homeowners.
Well, we cater to both, and the way we deliver the mulch is we have what is called in the industry as a roll-off truck, and we have several boxes for this truck. And what we're going to be able to do is when I was talking about the mulch dye, you're never going to get, especially when you buy new mulch, it's going to be, there's going to be dye that comes off that mulch. I mean, there's just going to happen. So when somebody comes and dumps that mulch in your driveway, and you don't have a tarp down, that could be a problem because it's going to stain your driveway, make a mess. So what I've done is at Redwood is we have tried to minimize that mess for the landscaper or yourself if you're applying it, and leave the box with the mulch in it, and the landscaper or you can dig out of that as you need it to place it and apply it to your yard. Now there's going to be a fee for that, but I believe the fee will be reasonable compared to the mess that you're going to avoid making. And also want to point out another thing that box can be helpful with. If you're doing your backyard, and let's say you're cleaning your backyard, you have a lot of brush, you got some overgrown trees, and you just want to get the sunshine to your backyard, let's say, and you've got a lot of material to move. If you were ordering some mulch, say for the front yard, and you emptied the box out, you can always reload that box that's sitting in your driveway with your debris from your backyard or front yard, whatever it is, and you can reload that on the box, and we can pick that box up after you call us, and we'll take that debris away for you. That's an extra fee as well, but is very helpful in the amount that you might have. I mean, it's a 30-yard roll-off container, so you can get a lot of debris in the container there. So that could be a very helpful tool for somebody, especially if you don't have a pickup truck, or even if you had a pickup truck and you had a lot of volume to move. Just think of all the trips that you're going to have to you can avoid doing by having this box in the driveway.
Yeah, that's a great, actually. I've never heard of that at any other of the landscape supply houses that I know of, which albeit aren't many, but that's a really unique offer. Now, when you say I can fill this thing up with debris, are you talking about trash out of my house, or what kind of debris can I put in this once I've gotten my mulch out?
Well, Neil, I'm glad you mentioned that. All you can put is wood products. You can put your shrubs in there. You can put dirt in it, grass, tree limbs, whole trees, if you had to. We're geared for the mulch industry. So what we'll do with that wood product is we'll take that to a recycler, and the recycler can't accept household trash. It can't accept plastic, tires, all that stuff. That can't go in there. Now, it can be dirt's fine, grass, big whole trees, whatever you can put in there. As far as that's concerned, it's good to go. But garbage is definitely not something we want to mess with.
Right, yeah, understood, absolutely. Well, I appreciate that clarification, but that still is really a very unique thing that I've not heard of. So that's kind of neat. If you're doing a lot of yard work and you need mulch and you need to get some old debris, we had our house got hit, I guess, very difficult winter. We lost a ton of bushes around our house, so our landscaper had to come and pull up a whole bunch of bushes from around our house, and I'm guessing that would have been a great opportunity for him. We needed some mulch at the same time to go ahead and get that old stuff cleared out as well. So what a great offering that you've got there. All right, I want to kind of wrap this up. You and I had talked earlier that you do something special for your first-time customers who are visiting, who may want to give you guys a try and see some of your products. So tell us real quick what it is that you're going to be doing for some of your new customers coming in.
Well, what I was wanting to do for you guys is whoever comes in and mentions this this video to me at Redwood Yardscapes, I'd like to provide you with a free yard. After buying 3 yards, you'll get the 4th yard for free, and free delivery on that. Hopefully that would be very helpful for you, and that's on colored mulch and plain mulch. So you can take your pick out of all that and come visit me over there, and I can kind of show you the ropes.
Well, that's great. I thank you. I appreciate that. And what I've done here is put down at the bottom of the screen, you guys can see Brad's name and contact information. He's with Redwood Yardscapes, and that's here in Woodstock, Georgia. Brad's phone number is 404-915-3106. So I'll leave that up here at the bottom. I want to thank Brad very much for joining us today. There's a lot of really good information, and hopefully those of you who've got some yard projects coming up may have learned a thing or two here. That's always our goal. So thanks, Brad, for being with us again today. I appreciate it, and hopefully if anybody's out there interested in looking at some different landscape products and supplies, Brad's got a great deal for you there. So thank you all for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.